Hello and welcome to Farkham. My name's Lucy and in this episode I'm going to show you how I've weathered my Hornby TTA tank wagons, and I'll take you through a step-by-step process of how I achieved this authentic weathered look. Here's Hornby's latest release of the TTA tank, and I will say it's one of Hornby's better wagons. They've not particularly had the reputation for producing accurate models of wagons, but this is definitely an exception. From the walkways to the underframe detailing, it is really very nice. First, I removed the vacuum hoses from both ends of the wagon. Then I tackled the through vacuum pipe on the underside, which isn't required for air-braked vehicles. Hornby include it to allow the option of doing a TTB, which basically means it has a through vacuum pipe. It's glued in place, so I used some long nose pliers and gently broke the join in a few places before pulling it out from between the other details. Next, I removed the screw link coupling hooks. They just pull out with a pair of pliers. I drilled out the hole for the air pipe since I couldn't get it to seat properly on the first dry test fit. I also widened the screw link hole to fit Smith's Instanta couplings, which is my preference for Farkham. Before gluing, I tested the Instantas on second radius track, since that's tighter than anything on my layout. To make the couplings, I hold the first piece of chain in pliers, open it slightly with my fingers, and hook onto the Instanta part before closing it up. Then I repeat the process to attach the other chain and coupling hook. For this wagon, I trimmed the assembly slightly so it would fit properly, and once happy, I glued them in place with 2-part epoxy resin. The air pipe went in next, secured in place with a touch of superglue. You'll see me rolling the cocktail stick with the glue on. That's to catch the stringy excess so it doesn't end up somewhere that it shouldn't. Now for the fun part, the weathering. Starting with the black shell tanks, I gave them a light coat of Vallejo grey-blue to tone down the newness. The Esso tank just had a little on the chassis to soften the bright red sole bar. The total tank's got an all-over coat, which helps fade the logos and the lettering. The grey shell tank got the same treatment, but more lightly. Next, I sprayed Vallejo rust. The grey shell tank got a generous coat all over. At this stage, I check the prototype photos for guidance and placement. While the black shell tank just had rust on the chassis and a little on the tank sides. With the base coats done, I sealed everything with Colour Forge matte varnish, except the SO tank. For this one, on the prototype photo, there's a cleaner panel on the side, likely from having new decals. To replicate that, I cut some 18mm Tamiya tape, trimmed it straight on the cutting mat, and applied it carefully using a cocktail stick to press down the edges. This ensures that no paint seeps underneath the masking tape. Then I sprayed the varnish, just like the others. For washes, I've used the Flory Models products. The grey shell tank had an all-over sand wash. The total tanks had a sand wash in the centre, later topped up with dark dirt. The black shell tanks had full dark dirt wash. And the SO tank, a sand wash only. Once dry, I removed the washes with a damp sponge, always wiping downwards for a natural look. Peeling the tape off the SO tank revealed the clean panel effect nicely. A little tidy up and it was done. The black and grey shell tanks also got wiped back to reveal the highlights underneath. Any stray sponge fibres were blown away with the airbrush. I revisited the total tanks with another all-over dark wash. I went a bit heavy in one spot, but no worries. I just reworked the wash and saved it. Disaster averted. Finally, I mixed charcoal grey with thinners and added staining to the centres of the tank sides and chassis, where fuel spillages would run. I excluded the Esso version from this process since it carries unleaded fuel rather than fuel oil. And here they are on the layout, weathered and looking work stained. I've really enjoyed this project and I'm pleased with how they've turned out. They look far too clean fresh out the box, and now they look fantastic outside Farcombe's fuel oil terminal. I'd love to know what you think of these, so drop me a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.